I'm here with Ron Cantor, Regional Director, God TV in Jerusalem live. Also joined with me, Scott Volk. He's a board member of God TV in the United States, as well as president of Together for Israel. Both of them in hotel rooms in different locations. Ron just a short while ago, had the opportunity to have a private viewing with some other Christian media of some of the horrific, barbaric acts that took place on October 7th when Hamas came into Israel and committed mass murder. This, friends, is not for public consumption. It's not going to be publicized. Some of it has leaked out, but for the most part, nothing that Ron saw is he able to show us. His phone was, all phones, all cameras were, I guess, confiscated, for lack of better words. But Ron, again, the narrative out there needs attention. The narrative that the enemy is using, that Israel is the aggressor, the oppressor, Israel is the evil one. There was a phone call that leaked out, and you didn't leak it out. It leaked out before, but I heard it. You just heard that phone call where a Hamas terrorist called his parents on a dead Israeli cell phone to celebrate and to brag about what he just accomplished. Tell us about that call.
Yeah, I took notes. So, I have a notebook here. I don't write. It was the first time I've used a pen in a long time because they did take our phones. They took my Apple Watch, and then they told if you brought a phone in here and we didn't get it, please don't take this. Now that right there tells you something. Hamas took this footage with the goal of celebrating and showing it to the world. Israel is a humane nation. We have every reason, like we would want people to see this, to know what Hamas did. But out of respect for the dead, out of respect for the families, they've only showed this footage to about 200 people. It was an article right before we came on air where there is pressure. Prime Minister Netanyahu is considering releasing it. The IDF is mulling it over whether or not to release it to the world. But as of right now, they're not. But this terrorist, he calls up his father on the phone and he says, "Dad, I just killed 10 Israelis with my bare hands." And he is ecstatic like this. Like it's almost like, "Dad, I just won the Nobel Peace Prize." That is the level of excitement that he has. And it's hard for me to make out whether his father is happy or sad. But then he puts his mother on the phone. He says the same thing. "Mom, I am right now calling you from the phone of a woman that I just killed, a Jewish woman." So that's what we're dealing with here. This is a level of demonic possession that we have not really grasped or seen since Nazi Germany.
Yeah, I heard that call, ladies and gentlemen, and my gosh, it was heart wrenching and heartbreaking because this young man, he is zealous and he is sincere. He has been taught from a
Yeah.
young age to hate Jews and to kill Jews. And here he is calling home looking for affirmation. He was begging his dad for his congratulations, for his blessing. He was begging for it. He asked his father over and over again, "Dad, are you proud of me? Are you proud of me? Are you proud of me?" His mother came on the phone, and Ron, from my perspective, she was crying and she was saying, "Enough, come home, come home." And friends, this is the world that we're dealing with. Scott, let me ask you this question. These young kids are taught and brainwashed from a young age to hate the Jewish people. They've never met them, they know nothing about them. Lord, have mercy on all of their souls.
The crazy thing, Ward, when you think about it, is that there are people who have been brainwashed from a young age who are living in the Middle East. And there are also people in the United States that have been brainwashed as well and around the world that this is an issue of Israel occupying a land. Listen, long before 1948, there's been Jew hatred. There's been killing of innocent Jewish lives ever since the Lord chose Abraham as the one through whom the Messiah would ultimately come. So in the Old Testament, you have Pharaoh, you have Haman, and a number of other people who want to see Israel wiped off the map. Nobody could ever say it's because Israel is an evil occupier like they're saying now. That's not the reason Hamas went in there. The reason Hamas went in there is because this is a war between the kingdom of God and the kingdom of the evil one. And we know, thankfully, who is going to win. We know the end of the story. But this is not a political issue. This is a biblical issue, and it's an issue of the kingdom of God. So for those who've been brainwashed to hate Israel from an early age, we've got to pray that the Lord will open their eyes. For those around the world who've been brainwashed to think that this is the result of an evil occupier, Israel, taking a piece of land, no. If that was the case, this wouldn't have happened until 1948. But this has been going on for nearly 3,000 years, actually longer than 3,000 years. And God is looking for a people who will stand with Israel, who will pray for Israel, who will love Israel, who would love the Palestinian people, and who would pray for the kingdom of God to come.
Yes, Scott, if I could just jump in on that. The Holocaust happened in 1938 and it ended in 1945. Israel did not become a nation until 3 years later, until 1948. Hitler was not killing, and I shouldn't say Hitler, the entire Nazi party, much of Europe. They were not killing the Jewish people because of the Jewish state. They were killing the Jewish people because of anti-Semitism, of Jew hatred, and they felt like they had to rid the world of the Jewish people. The reason that the cause of the Jewish people to have their own nation, what most Jewish people before the Holocaust were, we don't need our own nation. We love being in Poland. We love being in Germany. We love being in whatever state they were in. It was after the Holocaust that finally a millions of Jewish people said to themselves, we will never be safe unless we have our own country. So when people say, well, the whole idea of the Jewish state is racist, look at the map, my friends. There's 50 Muslim majority countries. There are 21 or 22 Arab nations. There's one tiny little Jewish nation in the world. How can that be racist? That the Jewish people said, because everyone wants to kill us, we'd like this little sliver of land in the Middle East, which goes 3,000 years back to King David when he made Jerusalem the capital. Even before that, in other words, we got roots there, but just give us this little sliver of land and let us be at peace. And no, they can't do that. They still want to kill us.